The Fanatical Massholes Show is sponsored by Big Belly Barbecue. If you're looking to get a plate or looking to try something different, hit up Timothy Brunfield, Timothy D. Brunfield on Facebook, Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. He specializes in fried lobster tail, lobster mac and cheese, Cajun wings, the works, etc., etc. He has all that and more. Like I said, if you're looking to get catered, he'll take care of you. You will not be disappointed. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Timothy D. Brunfield on Facebook. Check them out. All right, let's get to the show.
They slept on me. Platinum. Guess what? We coming back at you. Sure will. We ain't playing no games. We gonna cross that finish line, y'all. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucking beat drop. Tell you something now, I'm here. Ain't no way for hell that I'ma stop. Set it on
yo. Good evening, good night, good morning. You know how we do. Fanatical Massholes Show. I'll give you an unedited, unfiltered, unapologetic opinion on everything that's going on in sports today. As usual, I got the fellas with me. Insane Lex, All Around, Wakil, your boy Mizzo. What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Ain't much, man. You know, life, navigating through life. All right, let's get right into it, yo. We're gonna talk about LeBron and his interview with Pat McAfee. I didn't really get to say my piece on it. You know what I mean? Scheduling kind of, threw it off for the show. So we coming back. We ain't forgot about y'all though. So we're gonna keep coming, like we said. And then we're gonna talk about this Ja Morant thing that happened last night. Everybody trying to make a big deal about it. Supposedly the NBA's investigating them for the incident that happened with the Golden State Warriors. We're gonna talk about that. And then we're gonna get up out of here. So all right, let's get to it. And as always, let me get before I forget about that. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Support, goddammit.
Yes, sir. Support the movement. All right. So if you've been under a rock or you just don't watch sports, and maybe if you watch sports, you know what happened first with LeBron and Stephen A. Smith. Let me adjust my brim. You know what happened with LeBron and Stephen A. Smith. And then LeBron followed it up. Stephen A. Smith's been talking about it like crazy. LeBron follows it up a week and a half later. He goes on Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee works on ESPN, the same network as Stephen A. Smith. His show comes on directly after First Take, which is Stephen A. Smith's show. You know that was a shot. You know what I'm saying? He took a shot at Stephen A. Smith. Basically said he missed the point of it. That point, so we talk about that first. Like, what people don't understand what LeBron's saying as far as why he came at Stephen A. Smith was about his son. It wasn't about nothing else. Stephen A. Smith's like, look, I did that because of you. I didn't do it because of your son. You know what I'm saying? And he still missed the point because LeBron's saying, yeah, you mentioned my son, you mentioned me as a father. Nah, bro, like, that's when it got to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, that's when the line is drawn,
because
bro.
of me, nigga. Personal issues.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying, yo, as a father, please stop this. Cool. As me and Lex and I talked about it on the show, I basically said, look, you ain't wrong. I'm just saying you kind of did it in a way where Stephen A. Smith looks bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it looked like you checked him. And yeah, you basically did, but you did in a timeout. And Stephen A. Smith didn't really have a chance to respond because it's a timeout. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he really couldn't do that. I felt like LeBron should have kind of pulled him backstage and ratched on him. You know what I'm saying? But it went viral. Everybody had to talk about it, and everybody just kept talking about it. But I get what LeBron was saying about that. You know what I mean? My other point that I like that I took from was what LeBron too was with the media. And the media took this out of and ran with it too when he said, look, the media needs to be held accountable for being too comfortable. When he mentioned how we talked about this on the show a few months way back with Joel Embiid and his brother, where the reporter talked about his brother, and Joel Embiid basically was about to yoke him up. Well, he did yoke him up. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron was like, look, if that was Charles Oakley, this is back in the day, Charles Oakley would have slapped you through your brother, his brother. You know what I'm saying? Everybody took it like, oh, so now we're going to be putting hands on reporters now? We can't do that? You're missing the point. No one's saying LeBron said, you can hold me accountable when it comes to NBA, me playing my sport. That is your job. But when you get personal, it's when it goes too far. And people still miss the point. Don't get personal with these guys' family. What we doing on this show, what we are striving to do, and we are fans, one. We are not analysts. We are not journalists. We are fans. We're going to give you our fan perspective. But what we're not going to do is talk about somebody's son they wife, they mother, none of that. They personal business, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. It's not my business. But when it comes to the court, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I mean? We're gonna do that. We're gonna be critical. So that they missed the point on that. I feel like that was a good part of the interview as well. Obviously, we talked about the pre-show, the errors. You know what I mean? Lex, what you think about when he mentioned the errors?
I mean, when he talked about the errors, he was talking about how everybody used to compare. You know what I'm saying? They would compare Jordan to LeBron. You know what I mean? Some of the legends that we grew up watching, they would compare them. Now, I wanted to say one more thing about that interview, though. We are in a time where a lot of these basketball players is soft as baby shit. So the reporters feel like they can say anything to them. Back in the 90s, you automatically knew who you could talk shit to and who you wouldn't talk shit to. You dig what I'm saying? And then another thing, though, too, if you think about it, a lot of those 90 players wasn't really too talkative with the media. A lot of them guys used to just play and go right into the locker room, and they'll just let them talk to whoever they want to talk to. You know what I mean?
So the thing is, right, in the 90s, 80s, whatever, they talked about every player. They just didn't get personal and nitpick and throw shots at them. This nigga Stephen A. Smith is like fucking
comes off personal.
The academics or the whatever sports. Like, he's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I seen, so like I watched the joint too, and LeBron was throwing his little shots, talking about him in his tighty whities and all that shit. Eating his ice cream. You know what I'm saying? But he said, like, nigga, it's your job to critique, or to not to critique, but like just to talk about whatever's going on in sports, whether it's my son or whoever or not. But when you get personal, that's why I draw the line. Like, you getting personal, you're only doing that because he's my son. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't his words verbatim, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you going personal with the situation because you don't like me.
Right. And Stephen A. And you know the funny thing, bro? Now as you mentioned that, it took a second. But after this interview, if you watch First Take the next day, Stephen A. Smith finally admitted. He said, LeBron don't like me, and I don't like him. It finally came out like these two don't like each other. It's not. It ain't even about. They're professional, but these two genuinely do not like each other. You know what I mean? It finally came out. Like, yo, you don't like me, I don't like him. Look, now it's crazy that Stephen A. Smith is cool with Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, everybody in LeBron's circle, but LeBron. That's weird as hell, man. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm saying that's
when he was getting interviewed, I'm surprised dude didn't kind of take what he said personal, because I don't know if anybody caught it, but he was like, because they was talking about his podcast, his show and everything, and he's like, we're giving you what none of these sports shows or analysts are giving you these days, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, damn, you said he basically was like, none of them. So you saying none of them, you talking about the nigga that's interviewing you too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if homeboy caught it, but he's like, we giving y'all something that none of these shows are giving y'all today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pat McAfee, he's more a football guy. I mean, he talks basketball. He talks sports. He does the wrestling thing too. Like I said, I feel like Pat McAfee kind of lobbed it up, man. He wasn't really asking those critical questions. Wakil, what you want to say? I'm gonna get it before we keep going, because I want to get into one question that I wish he would have asked him. But go ahead, Wakil. What's up, bro?
I thought that the interview was Pat McAfee was kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like he was just super great, and you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, LeBron, he is a great. Like, I respect the man because, like, what he mentioned about what he does outside the league, you know what I'm saying? True. But as far as, like, in the league, like, that's why when he mentioned, like, the comparisons of the greats and stuff like that, heavy is the head that holds the crown, you know what I'm saying? And you got to live with it, bro. So, you know, I get it. You know, like you said, that everybody should be measured by each of their era or whatever the case may be. But bro, they gave you that title at 17. You know what I'm saying? So
he embraced it at 17.
And he embraced it.
He called himself King James. Nobody else did. He called himself King James. And as far as the average, when he said, Giannis would average 250 and then Giannis was like, 275. But Giannis is joking. You know what I mean? Like, Giannis ain't averaging 250 points in the era that we grew up watching in the 80s. And come on, look, I'm not saying LeBron couldn't play. I'm not saying Steph couldn't play, but it'd be a big adjustment. You know what I'm saying? It'd be harder for Steph to get the points that he got in that league. You see what they did to Jordan. Back then. You see what they did to Bird. Y'all remember when Kurt Rambis got clotheslined by a dude for the Celtics, Wakil. You know what I'm saying? You remember what the Bill Lambier would do to Larry Bird and them? They banging out. Remember Larry Bird and Julie and Dr. J was literally banging. You can't do that now, and I get it. Fans don't want to see that. I understand that. I'm not saying I want the league to come back where they throwing hands, but everything's a foul, man. You see last night that Russell Westbrook play against Minnesota. You seen it? He barely touched them. Dude was going to the man. As he shot, and they called a foul. I'm like, that's not a foul.
But then I see what LeBron was talking about, and we done talked about this before. Like the way the game was played in the 90s, it was more physical. It wasn't a lot more. It was less of the rules they got. Mm-hmm. So comparing the greats from the 90s to some of these athletes now, of course, they talented and all of that, but the game is not as physical as it used to be.
It just evolved, yeah. It evolved.
Speaking of that, dude, I know y'all seen that little clip I put up of LeBron with Tatum, where he threw himself back like he really got checked in his neck. That's a prime example of the type of, like, come on, dog. Faking like
it's funny. In that interview, he talked about how, like, people be like, oh, he get all the fouls and he be flopping and stuff like that. And then he was like, but when they come to my team, you know what I'm saying? Then they be like, oh, yeah, bro, you don't get no fouls or whatever. Like, come on, bro. Now, that was cap. That was cap.
Yeah, he gets some. He gets some. They kind of do like Shaq a little bit. He don't get a lot like Shaq, because remember, Shaq would get hurt and he wouldn't get no calls. But LeBron is 6'9", whatever the case is. But anyway, let's breeze through it. I mean, again, I respect what he said about MJ. A lot of people are taking that and going crazy when he's like, me and MJ don't got a relationship. It's he's like, because I'm still playing. He said, once I'm done playing, I'm sure me and MJ will be cool. We seen him at the 75th anniversary at the All-Star game. Him and MJ shook up. Big hug, embrace.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are making something big. Yo, the media, chill. Y'all making something bigger than what it is. Yes, the competitors. MJ's never gonna come out and say he was the greatest. MJ's never ever said that. LeBron has, but either way, them two ain't gonna do it like that. Y'all, I'm not arguing. Listen, I'm not arguing with anybody anymore about LeBron versus MJ. You like LeBron? Cool. I'll take Mike, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. You got it. Like, I'm not doing it no more, because it's just, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, they take every little thing and try to run with it. And then LeBron clarified it, and what made it crystal clear, he's like, look, me and Kobe didn't have a good relationship. Me and Kobe didn't have a relationship until Kobe retired. LeBron said that. Me and Kobe, we played in the Olympics. Yeah. We had, like, player, whatever business, but it was not a friendship until Kobe retired. And we became close. Exactly.
Just because a person says he don't have a relationship with somebody, don't mean he don't like him. He just don't got a relationship with him.
That's it. You know what I mean? Right. Just because we beefing, just because we not beefing don't mean we cool. Just because we cool, just because we not cool don't mean we beefing. It just means I'm doing me, you doing you. That's it. You know what I mean? And then the last thing I didn't like, him taking a shot at Brian Windhorst, man. I mean, Brian Windhorst has followed this kid since he was 16. This young man now, 16. Him to take a shot at Brian Windhorst simply because he said LeBron signed with Nike because of Jordan. Okay, you didn't. You signed it because they gave you a lot of money, and you moved your mom out the hood. That's what's up. But to take a shot at that man is crazy, man. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I thought it was a good interview. He you know what I mean? He was a little more of himself, and that's what's up. You know what I mean? I did like it. You know, I mean, hopefully now we can just stop talking about him and Stephen A. though, man. That's over. Stephen A. better stop talking about it. Like, leave it alone, bro. That's it.
Ron, stop posting shit about the nigga too.
LeBron, they both doing it. They both doing it. Like, leave it alone, man. Leave it alone, man. It's over. Y'all both grown men. LeBron, you a billionaire. Stephen A. Smith's up there. You know what I mean? He good. Y'all good. Leave it alone, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone. All right. Before we go, though, man, NBA, I seen something. I don't know. It could have been April Fool's thing. But it said the NBA is investigating Ja Morant for his gun gesture pointed at, the video will be up on the show episodes. You'll see it, at the Warriors bench during the game last night. Warriors beat the Grizzlies. Steph went off. Steph had like 12 threes, 52 points. Steph went off last night. I was asleep, but so I woke up seeing it, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, he did like this, you know what I mean? And then he did something to Steph, but they didn't show that Buddy Hield did it to him first. Maybe Buddy Hield was doing like this, and he took it like the three when he pointed to the veins. And then Ja was like, I don't know, but it's like, come on, man. Just because you're making too much out of nothing now. Leave this young man alone. He's came back from his suspension. He did his time. I hate to say time. He served his penalty. He served the discipline. He took it. He's back playing. Leave that man alone, man. He's not trying to do nothing. You're making too much of it now. Media, people, you're making too much of it. If the NBA, go ahead. What's up?
It's gonna be like that because of that gun charge that he caught.
Yeah,
so
he didn't catch a gun charge though. He was never charged.
I know, but I'm just saying because he got caught with. Well, pardon me, because
he's on camera.
Instagram. He posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, he's on camera.
So
every state that he posted it in was you could carry. It's not it's weird. You know what I'm trying to say, open carry.
But they gonna heighten that with him. Anytime he look like he making a gun gesture, they gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, except for I think in Denver, I think in Denver it wasn't, but they never charged him for the gun though. He never got charged. But go ahead, my fault.
That's all I was saying. Like that's why they messing with, bro.
So
it just sounds like
out of all of us here, how many of us think that if this is a real thing, that he brought it upon himself because of the footage of him with the gun?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But once you serve your time, once you do your 20, I'm not. Let me excuse my language.
He didn't serve no time.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that. He served his suspension. He served his 25-game suspension. I don't know. It was last year. Wasn't this year? Was it this year or last year? I don't know.
Last year,
I think.
Last year. So he served his 25-game suspension. Yeah, that's right. Then he got hurt for the season. So he served the suspension. What more do you want from this man? Like that, he served the suspension. Because he did it again. I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he shouldn't do that. Yeah, he might have put himself in this position, but come on, man. NBA should not investigate this. Let the man play. Leave it alone. Let's not make a big deal out of this, man. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get too deep into it, but hopefully nothing comes out of it. Yeah, I mean, but if the NBA's investigating it, they're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. If the media was just talking about it, this wouldn't even be a topic. But if they're saying the NBA is investigating this, like, come on, man, stop it. Y'all got better things to do, man. You know what I mean? For real, man. You got to do what the NFL did. And again, I'm not keep trying to say NFL versus NBA, but you better find you a Taylor Swift that can bring some casuals along. For real, y'all NBA, you need some casuals. You got me, I'm here, but you need them casuals. You got to get them. You got to get them casuals, man. For real. Who don't know nobody? They know LeBron. They know Steph. Now they know. I don't know. They know Luka. You know what I mean? They know that's it. They know them three, and they're gonna know Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum should be a household name. But other than that, they don't know nobody else. But either way, they're watching. That's what you need. Just like when Taylor Swift, she brought all the Swifties. They didn't know nobody, but Kansas City's colors were red. Patrick Mahomes with the crazy haircut, and he sounds like Kermit the Frog sometimes. And her boyfriend Travis Kelce. And I'm not trying to diss Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all they knew, and that was all that mattered. And they still watched. And NFL brought in way more money than they would have. They was on top anyway, but she brought in more people. You need to find you somebody that can go get you a Taylor Swift, match up somebody, super couple, and you know what I mean? For real. Straight up. That's what you need, NBA. Don't worry about this Ja Morant thing. It was nothing. It wasn't nothing. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I got a good question.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties into the Braun thing. I know we just skipped over. We already done with that, but somebody had called in with a question, and they said, after LeBron James leaves, who do you think should be the face of the NBA? Yeah.
Well, yeah, on the show. That was a good question.
That was.
He didn't really. Listen, if you ask me, it should be Ant-Man. Because, I mean, again, Jokic is the best player in the league, but they're not going to. A European player is never going to be the face of the NBA of American sport. It could be Ant-Man. I would love to see Jason Tatum take that role. Jason Tatum's nice, man. You know what I mean? I've watched his kids since he was that dude, young man now. You know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum is like that. You know what I mean? It should be him.
No, it could be. I feel like that's why they brought Luka to LA. I think Luka gonna be the face, bro. Some tell me that Luka is going to be the face of the league.
Yeah, but we just said that a European-born player is not going to be the face of an American sport. It's not going to happen.
I think that's what they're
remember, think about
the NBA is weird like
think
that.
about the covers for the NBA Live and all that. I remember Ginobili was on that cover.
I'm not saying that European-born players aren't going to be on the cover. I'm just saying as far as face of the league. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, but the face of the league, I think Luka is going to be the face of the league.
Okay, let me put it like this. Josh Allen was on the cover of Madden one year, a couple years ago. He's not the face of the NFL. That's Patrick Mahomes.
I was just using that as an example.
I got you.
Something's like a video game. If they put the foreign or people that's not from here on the video games, I think it's going to be a different time where they actually put somebody as far as a face front for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it happening. I agree with you on that part. But if they doing it already on video games, then it's kind of like it might kind of go that way.
True indeed. True indeedy. All right, y'all. We got to go. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Like I said, we just wanted to give our opinions on that. You know, we couldn't let the week go by without talking about it. And we're going to keep coming with more content for y'all. More shows. We ain't stopping. The train going to keep rolling. Me and the bros gonna keep keep bringing it to y'all. Like I said, an unapologetic, unedited, unfiltered opinion on everything that's going on in sports today. Catch us on Straight Drop Viral, where we talk about even more lifestyle, politics, hip hop, relationships, just weird, crazy stuff, man. Because some people are crazy out here, man. We got to give them their just due sometimes. You know what I mean? Goofy.
Speaking of just do it, shout out Antonio Brown for raising that money for that gentleman that
Respect.
Got into some trouble for leaving his I guess he left his kids at a McDonald's while he went to an interview. So Antonio Brown raising money for that gentleman. So kudos to him.
Well, the funny part is the media left them going to an interview part out. That was the funny part. So it came out. You know what I mean? Like they do. You know what I mean? But again, of course, respect to Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? I ain't agree with a lot of things he's been doing lately, but that's big respect. You gotta salute him. You listen, you criticize him when he does wrong, but you definitely gotta give him a shout and salute when he does great. Salute to that man. Well, good luck to that man. Hopefully he gets the job. Good night to all y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, share, comment.
Support
the movement. Insane Lex. All the brands. Wakil, your boy Mizzo.
Easy. I'm across the finish line. I'm across the finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucking beat drop. Tell you something now, I'm hip. Ain't nowhere for hell that I'ma stop. I'ma set it on fire on every block. As I'm pippin' in my fast car.